Lane from Ritual Coffee Roasters in San Francisco, and I'm here to teach you how to brew a Hario v60 pour-over like a pro. What is the v60? The v60 is a pour-over brewing device that's shaped like a V at 60 degrees. We love the v60 because this brew tends to bring out a really beautiful and delicate acidity of any coffee. This is the same brewing device that we use in our cafes. So let's go over our tools. The first thing you'll need is your brewer. You'll need the Hario v60 No. 2 paper filters. You'll need a gram scale, a spoon, and a timer. You'll need something to brew into, a grinder. I'm using the Porlex ceramic conical burr grinder. You'll find that a more consistent grind size will come from using a burr grinder. You'll also need a kettle. This is a gooseneck kettle, the Stag pour-over kettle from Fellow Products. The shape of the spout will give you a much more controlled pour, allowing for a much more consistent brew in the end. Today I'm going to be brewing with the Hama from Ethiopia. This coffee is a washed coffee that tastes like watermelon, peach, and oolong tea. Let's get started. For our recipe, we'll be using 25 grams of coffee. Use your gram scale to carefully dose out 25 grams of coffee. Once you've dosed 25 grams of coffee into your grinder, start grinding. The grind size is really important for brewing. You want to make sure that you've got a grind size that is not too coarse and not too fine. Too coarse of a grind size will cause the water to move too quickly through the coffee in the brewing process, which will result in an under-extracted cup that may taste a bit sour. Too fine of a grind will cause the water to move through the coffee too slowly, giving you an over-extracted cup that tastes bitter and dry. We're looking for a medium grind size that is a bit finer than kosher salt. Once you're finished grinding, we're almost ready to brew. Just a few more steps of preparation until we're ready. First, we are going to fill our kettle and get the water very hot. I'm able to control the temperature of the water with the Stag kettle, so I'm turning it all the way up to 212 degrees. You'll want to use water just off boil for maximum extraction. The hotter the water, the better your cup will taste. Next, we are going to fold the v60 filter like so. After your filter is folded, we will pre-wet the filter. Adding water to pre-wet the filter will eliminate any papery taste that might make it into your cup. Once your filter is pre-wet, use the discarded water to heat your drinking vessel. Heating your drinking vessel will keep your coffee warmer for longer. Now you're ready to brew. We will be brewing this coffee in a series of pulse pours that are timed out using our timer. This will ensure consistency with our brew. We will first bloom the coffee and then 3 pours will follow. Let's get started. We'll turn on our scale. Make sure that your scale is set to grams and make sure that your timer is counting upward. The first step to brewing the coffee is the bloom. Begin your timer and carefully add 60 grams of water while pouring in concentric circles around the brewer. Then, use a spoon to gently flip the bottom of the brew bed onto the top, ensuring that all of the grounds are completely saturated. The bloom happens when the coffee releases carbon dioxide and expands, preparing the coffee for extraction. When your timer reaches 45 seconds, it'll be time for our first pour. Pouring in gentle concentric circles from the inside out, we are going to add 140 grams to our brew, bringing our total to 200. Be careful not to hit the edge of the brewer as to cause a channel for the water to move through. When the timer reaches 1 minute and 20 seconds, it's time for our second pour. We will be using the same pouring technique to add 100 grams of water. Make sure not to fill higher than the level of grounds you have already established. When your timer reaches 1 minute and 55 seconds, it's time for our final pour. We will add 80 grams of water to the brew bed. Then, using our spoon, we'll scrape along the edge of the filter at the top to reincorporate the highs and dries into extraction. Your coffee should finish brewing between 2 minutes and 45 seconds and 3 minutes and 15 seconds. Give it a stir and then enjoy. Let's talk about troubleshooting. If your brew finishes much faster than 2 minutes and 45 seconds, it is likely due to too coarse of a grind. Try making your grind a bit finer next time. If your brew finishes much longer than 3 minutes and 15 seconds, try for a slightly coarser grind. What should your brew bed look like? Ideally, your brew bed will look even and flat, just like this. If your brew bed looks inconsistent and hilly, try slowing down your pour and focus more on those concentric circles. If your brew bed looks silty and muddy, try a slightly more aggressive velocity on your pour and a more effective initial flip of the bed during the bloom stage. Happy brewing!